if you have an edge, or if you have an edge in the market and it's extremely profitable, right? People might perceive you as being lucky, and really that edge is very mysterious to them, and they don't really understand it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like shrouded in mystery, and a lot of people try to use that to their advantage, right? To sell people certain things or take advantage of them or give them some hidden knowledge. But in one sense, the knowledge is hidden, but not because it's really hidden intentional, just that people aren't able to perceive it, right? It's like if you were to what you just described, if you were to explain some that to somebody or post a video about it, um, there's still that concept is not really going to sink in on a level that impacts their behavior, right? And then if you play it out in real time, right? If those two people trade side by side, um, the other person is going to be very confounded on how well you are able to take advantage of the opportunity in the market, and they still won't understand it really. So sort of be shrouded in mystery, and that's one of the weird things about like a trading edge that kind of always, it's very
Well,
confusing.
yeah, well, but I think that is a very good point there, because I think at the end of the day, I can have an edge, right? And I mean, me and you, we can talk about whatever you want, and as long as you want, okay? And we can discuss whether if my edge is better than yours or the other way around, whatever. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't really make any difference for both of us, because if you have an edge and if I have an edge, or at least I I feel like I have an edge and you feel like you have an edge on your own. Uh, my personal thought on your edge and your personal thought on my edge should be really meaningless.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, right? I
I
mean,
think it's inconsequential, to be honest with you, because as long as
I mean,
you've got an edge that's basically profitable, it
but
comes down to your own decision making process from that point onwards. I think you can have people with terrible edge who basically do really well out of it, and then you get people that try to be a
well,
bit more perfect and a bit more strict, and they don't manage to become profitable from it.
well, okay, but the point is that, I mean, getting back to the analogy, the example I just brought in about myself, I guess the problem is that, as Fulcon was saying, you know, you heard him telling me, oh wow, I mean, great decisions, great plan, okay,
Yeah,
because this time around it played out like this, but you know, I sometimes I wonder if your edge could be judged and taking like a good edge or a bad edge based on the results, the end results. So I guess when you kind of show your edge in your decisions, in your decision making process to someone else, somehow there will be always that filter about the end result. And maybe I think the problem is that a lot of people, especially when they start out, they look at the end result, but they don't look at the process.
yeah. So Chris has a lot to say on this particular topic.
Yeah,
So when the goal of the course is to become an independent thinker.
exactly.
In
Yeah.
other words, you've gone beyond beyond. It's like becoming a musician, right? You have to learn the notes, and you have to learn the music, and you have to learn your instrument. And then when you suddenly get all that, you can suddenly start creating music of your own. It just
Yeah.
it's just less obvious to traders, so I think it just takes longer to get to that level. And you're right, I think about 4 or 5 years is coming as a reasonable amount of time, I think, to have got to that level. Do you know what I mean? It's degree level learning we're doing.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, it should be reasonable. Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I mean,
there's a lot of information to take in, and there's a lot to process because it's experiential. Because you can only, I mean, I myself, I've always had a problem with back testing because I've never been able to get any accurate results from it. You can't tell if I'd have taken the trade at the time. by forward testing and by based on this, build that. As that data set builds up, that's what gives you the experience and confidence that your edge is working, and it
Yeah.
just hones over time. Surely, that's how I see it. I don't know. Does that sound reasonable, or is that a bit?
No, no, no. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, at the end of the day, it is always very personal. Um,
Yeah,
you should be able to collect your stats. You should be able to collect the data, and you reach that point where you have all your data, and you have all your stats, and you know for a fact because the numbers are black and white, and they're showing you that what you're doing is right and it's profitable. And I mean, at that point, whatever opinion you're gonna listen to, it's gonna be basically useless because you know what you're doing, and you know what you're doing is making you money, and you know you got an edge. So I mean, it is all fair and good. Listen to other people' opinion, and okay, it is part of the game, of course. But if you got an edge, and if your edge is backed up by solid numbers and solid stats, you don't really need to look, elsewhere. You already have everything you needed.
I, I
You're
think
golden.
I think one of the sort of minefields that people new to it is the exploration, is the finding out what works for you, because there's so many different species, so many different indicators. You know it. Your child, 9 year old,
You're,
drawing from
uh,
school. But I mean, but
well,
uh,
you're cutting off a bit.
oh, sorry, dude.